Hey guys, Mario Fanzolato here. It's been, I think, close to 2 years since my last video. This isn't some sort of update video. I just want to start creating content more regularly. Hopefully, you'll begin enjoying them, and it'll be much more focused on various technical aspects of muscle building. And I'll be touching upon fat burning as well, because as I get older, it's become actually difficult for me to lean down more so than to continue building muscle, which oddly enough still works at my age. I'm 45 years old and currently bulking up, but it's like a lean bulk. I believe I'm actually leaning down as I'm building muscle, which some people think is impossible. I've talked about this in other videos. It is very much possible, even at my age. But especially at my age or older, you need to exercise regularly in terms of aerobic exercise, and you need to watch what you eat, meaning calorie intake needs to be less than how you were eating as a teenager or in your 20s or possibly in your early 30s. And you also need to be conscious of what you're eating specifically. So foods that are a little lower in fat, lower in less carbohydrates, particularly starchy carbohydrates as well. And protein doesn't actually need to be too high. I think at our age and with our level of wisdom with regards to training, we tend to be better at that over the years and compensate that way. So if you're working out properly and not overexerting yourself and kind of like wasting your energy, so to speak, through I would say exhaustion. Like sometimes we might lift so heavy that we begin to puke. I mean, obviously that's an extreme scenario, but it does happen, and even guys my age will sometimes do that or even do it regularly. And it's not healthy, and it's not helping you to build more muscle. I would say maybe when you're younger, it's kind of good to push yourself to an extreme, or at least to understand your body and to know what that point is, so that you maybe don't reach it every single time, or that you don't pass that point even. So, at our age, especially guys in our 40s, it's best to train properly, get a good pump in, and then feed, get those calories back, but good calories. So, and not overdoing it. So that's kind of the point. Even if you want to gain weight overall, you can do it. You have to be very methodical with everything. It does become more of a difficult puzzle, kind of like those puzzles growing up. You would start with a 5-piece puzzle or 6-piece puzzle, and then it would move up to 10, 20, 40, 80, 180, 500, 1,000. As you get older, it becomes like a 30,000 piece puzzle. But, once again, there's a little bit more experience there. There's some wisdom that comes with age. So hopefully you know your body's better. If you feel like you're actually losing touch with your body, I would suggest just kind of getting a bit back to your roots and doing a little bit of everything. Because when you are younger, you tend to rest, not necessarily more, but you almost rest better. Like teenagers will want to nap. They'll sleep in on the weekends if they're not working, of course, till almost the afternoon or even past noon, let's say. So they're, even if they don't sleep, if they go to bed late and wake up a bit early during the week, they are sleeping, compensating, sleeping a little bit more on the weekends, taking naps sometimes if they're in CEGEP, or if you're in the States, it's just a late high school and early college / university. There might be naps that you're getting in during the day, during the week. So there's that, and of course, teenagers tend to eat a lot, so they're getting a lot of calories in, which is great for the muscles. Their metabolisms are very high, so they're burning the fat, and that's what needs to kind of change a little bit. But still, If you feel like you're older and you're not getting the results as quickly as you would when you were younger, try to keep in mind that you do need a balance. You need to eat, sleep, and train. It's a cliche, but it's true. So follow that advice that you kind of used to maybe tell others about and say was working for you, except now you have to be a bit more methodical. And I think deep down inside what little tweaks you need to make to achieve your goal. So it's a matter of just doing it, making it a priority, and being efficient at it, and still obviously balancing things out with work, family life, all of that. So in any case, for this video, I actually wanted to talk a little bit about fat burning versus sweating, because as much as people think they equate fat burning with sweating, and it's not exactly the same thing. So if you're and the reason why I'm bringing this up today is because it is a hot day. Everyone's kind of talking about it here in North America and in many parts of the world. Actually, it's very, very hot today, very humid. So with the humidity levels, it could go up to maybe 50 degrees or higher Celsius. In any case, recently I had thought about this, and today kind of thought about it a little bit more. How there are many people that and again, my age, a little younger than me, up to let's say 67 years old, are into fitness, are into muscle building, and want to burn fat. And with regards to burning fat, because maybe they're tired from work and they're already spending so much energy trying to balance out their home life and work life, when it comes to training, they don't actually do cardio. So instead of doing some form of aerobic exercise, which is basically the same thing as cardio, by the way, is working the heart. So cardio means, or cardia, I believe is the word in Greek, means heart in Greek, and that word derives, cardio, obviously cardiovascular. It derives from that. Okay, it's the heart pumping blood throughout the body. The blood returns to the heart. But one of the side benefits of doing cardio, of working the heart, is one of the great side benefits is burning fat. So your fat basically melts away, and it's never permanent, but it is much more sustainable when you do cardio and exercise to burn fat, as opposed to, let's say, going to the sauna or just going out on a hot day, thinking that if you spend the day outside, even if it's just standing around or sitting around, and you're just sweating the whole day, you're thinking maybe this is good for you. I would say, if anything, it's not great for you because, sorry, got something in my eye. Because of the humidity levels, it's actually probably not the best thing for your lungs and overall kind of general system. But there are some benefits derived from a sauna or just being out on a really hot day. Even if you're sitting by the pool and not swimming, not doing any exercise, you could still derive some benefit. Obviously, there's so many studies on this. There's people that kind of sell books on this stuff and have created a whole career on just going to saunas and using the various salts and whatnot to help you with various things, let alone just fat burning. So I would say, from my personal experience, keep in mind that regular exercise, nothing can replace that. Okay, so if you're thinking that, once again, sitting by a pool, sitting outside in the heat, baking in the sun, and all of that aside, and I'm not talking about the actual sun. The sun has vitamins, has some great benefits. It's just that when there's extreme heat outside, it's kind of unnecessary. Like, you don't need to be out on the hottest days to get any sun in, and there are more disadvantages than advantages at that point. You're not, once again, burning fat in a more in a sustainable way relative to doing cardio. So cardio, what is cardio? For those of you that are maybe not familiar with the term, possibly an international audience that's viewing this video, and cardio just means maybe nothing in your language, then I would say it's really just exercise, aerobic exercise, meaning exercises that involve quick repetitions and a high number of repetitions. So that's running, even quick walk on a treadmill is a decent cardio if you do it for long enough. So maybe up to, let's say, minimum 30 minutes, up to about an hour, or even an hour and 15 minutes. A brisk walk can obviously help you burn fat, and of course you are burning fat from the second you step on the treadmill and the second you start walking, really. And walking isn't such a bad exercise if you're keeping your head up and shoulders back and looking directly in front of you. It's maybe a bit tough on a treadmill if you're not used to it, but once you get used to it, it's a decent cardio. It actually helps with posture, postural alignment, and good posture in general. And it's a decent cardio. It helps you burn fat, but you have to do it for quite a while. If you want to burn fat a bit quicker, then once again, the faster the repetitions and the higher number of repetitions, which if you're training for approximately the same amount of time, obviously it's going to be there are going to be much more repetitions in running versus walking, but you don't have to do it for that long. So even if you do it 4 times quicker, but you only do 3 times the number of repetitions, let's say it might take you 20 minutes to do this type of cardio. And obviously running is okay. Running is not particularly great because it's not very good for the joints, for the back, for the knees. You have to have a good pair of shoes, and if you don't, then you could potentially suffer in those areas, especially if you do have some sort of back problem or just bone density problem. It really depends. So, but an elliptical, which is something where your foot basically does not leave the surface, but the surface does move. So it's basically like kind of like a bicycle, except you're standing up. And there are inclines that you could regulate higher or lower. That's another type of cardio. What else? Obviously, swimming on a nice hot day like today. You might want to go swimming. A lot of people went to the pool. And obviously, excellent cardio, great for the abs as well, for the core. You'll notice when you go to the pool on a hot day, especially if you eat quite light, you're going to see a difference in your physique. By the end of the day, you take a nice, maybe cold shower, and you'll see yourself a little leaner, even a little more muscular probably. So swimming is fantastic for all of the muscles, and it's great for the abs. It doesn't maybe give you the best physique if you do it regularly, like meaning and often. So if you do it a couple of times a week, if you're a swimmer, with no discrimination there, of course, I would say it's not the ideal physique in terms of what's considered the best physique when it comes to the general population. Let's say most people see the swimmer's physique as long and kind of slender, with the abs developed up to the lower abs, and it creates kind of like a bit of an odd physique when compared to, let's say, a bodybuilder's physique, or in these more modern classic type physiques. So in any case, swimming, great cardio. What else is there? Walking, running, cycling, very good, but concentrated on the legs, so or rather the leg muscles. So your quads, hamstrings, calves will develop nicely with cycling. The running will probably develop the calves a little more, and also kind of develops the legs, as with elliptical as well. So most cardio related exercises involve the legs greatly, and therefore work those muscles a little more. But in general, all of these types of cardio, and swimming is kind of more balanced. Of course, uses the arms, shoulders, everything of the upper body as well. So it might be the best cardio in terms of getting an overall good cardio aerobic workout in, but it's not. But they're all different in terms of concentrating on various muscles. So there's rowers that are focused on the arms and especially the back. It's really common sense. Some of these are marked on the machines themselves, which muscles it kind of targets a little bit more. But in general, it's working the heart, so it's helping you to burn fat. Either way, without making this video too long for no reason, really, I just want to bring this to light that, sweating is not the same thing as sweating as a result of doing regular exercise, like we're actually training. So you're actually melting the fat when you train, and it comes out in the form of sweat. Okay, so it does appear to be more liquid, more like basically water coming out of your system, and it is because the fat is melting away almost literally, but it's not transferring to muscle or anything like that. You're really just sweating out the fat. But when you go to a sauna, when you just sit outside and you're just kind of soaking up the sun and sweating like a pig, that's not the same thing. That's dehydration. So your body is ridding itself of this water, and it obviously has to do with the heat and the regulating of the body temperature to adjust with the heat of the outdoor weather or the sauna. So and saunas are a little bit different too, because obviously it's producing humidity in the environment, and it's affecting you differently than just let's say a combination of the humidity levels and the sun. So there's no sun, but there's the heat and the humidity as well. So heat, humidity, sun, let's say, outdoors, sauna, heat, and humidity. So in any case, just wanted to bring this to light. If you're as I get older, obviously I'm going to talk a little bit more. I don't want to make this the main topic of every video, but being a little older, it's it's something that is more within my consciousness. I'm thinking about it a little bit more. Fat burning has become a little bit more of an issue. It's become a little tougher to lean down. Like I said, I'm currently building muscle and leaning down at the same time. And the leaning down part has been really hard. I'm constantly struggling, to be honest, between building muscle and leaning down. Like it's become almost so easy at this point for me to build muscle, but it's always at the expense. It's not always at the expense, but it's, if I look at it from too general of a level when it comes to what I'm doing, and if I don't have a kind of stricter plan, I tend to just gain weight in general. So I build a lot of muscle, but I also gain fat. And right now I'm doing both, but there, like I said, it takes a methodical approach, takes a little bit of everything. You do need to do cardio. I'm not taking any supplements, by the way, and that makes things tougher too. So if I'm taking a break from supplements right now, but if you take like a protein powder and replace one or two of your meals with that, then sure, you're gonna get leaner because you're taking in less calories, and you're basically getting what you need, especially, which is a little bit of protein. And this video isn't about nutrition. Of course, you shouldn't avoid fruits, vegetables. I think those are essential. I disagree with people that say that you just need to eat meat, to get bigger. Like meat, which has a lot of protein and quite a bit of fat, and people will say, well, it's natural fat, it's natural protein, full of creatine, basically, which is, I believe, a combination of 3 proteins. But typically, let's say a steak, for example, will contain basically every type of amino acid. It's got leucine in it. It's got everything to help you grow, build muscle. That being said, the vitamins and that you get from fruits and vegetables, they like, not the vitamins, but I mean there's also antioxidants in fruits and vegetables, so that helps with digestion, helps with overall immune system deficiencies. It helps you go the other way and be stronger. I would argue it also affects testosterone levels in men. So if you're eating a little bit healthier in terms of you getting your fruits and vegetables in, you will also have higher testosterone levels, and which does lead to also a generally better outlook to life. You know, like you see things differently when you're a little healthier. If you're just eating meats, it's like it's feeding the body, but not feeding the soul. So I don't want to make this out to be some sort of spiritual thing, but yeah, it's just general good health to take in fruits and vegetables. So if you do all of those things, you can get leaner and build muscle, and you can also lean down. So that's all I want to say for this video. Be conscious of sweating versus just sweating, or purely kind of sweating versus actually leaning down through the burning of fat done by the work you put in. Okay, and think about it, like just sitting around and leaning down that way would obviously be less efficient than the exercise that you put in. Usually the work you put in is really what makes a difference in almost anything you do. And I talk almost a little bit too much sometimes about resting when it comes to muscle building. That's so vitally important, and a lot of people miss that step and don't take it seriously. But I talk almost like not enough about the training, because I would think it's common sense. You guys get that you need to work out regularly, and I train 4 to 6 days a week, but I would say more so 5-6 days a week. So I'm training every day almost. So, and sometimes I train 7 days a week. Sometimes I'll do like a little workout in on Sundays as well. And honestly, as long as you're getting a good amount of rest in, then it's like you're feeding your body calories without taking in calories. So it's a good way of staying lean and bulking up is getting enough rest in. And most of us don't get enough rest in. We watch so many hours of TV and stuff, but it's not really the same thing. You need to take a nap. You need to I would say maybe even relax through painting, and it's not exactly the same thing watching a movie, but it's better than nothing. So if you're just constantly go, that doesn't work either. That being said, like I said, building muscle and burning fat through exercise and training, nothing can really replace that. And I don't want you to do that when it comes to fat burning, especially because as you get older, being sedentary and just waiting around for results, it's not going to happen. You need to walk a lot. You need to, particularly if you have some sort of comorbidity, or if you have diabetes, you're going to need to exercise more so than other people. If you have a thyroid problem, you're going to have to train maybe 3 times as hard as someone for the same results. So anyways, it's a good habit to form, to even think that to keep in mind that you need to do those things. Like, there's no way around it. Okay, there's no magic pill, and there are pills obviously today, and I won't even mention the name because I really personally I'm against that stuff. I don't understand why, and it's not so much fat burners. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. This particular drug that's going around, it's been around for a few years, works very effectively. It might be useful for certain people. Of course, you would need to talk to your doctor about that, your medical professional about that. If you have if you're morbidly obese, or you have really like a problem with fat burning and losing weight, then it might be beneficial to you. But in general, the guys that want to build muscle and remain lean or get lean, I don't think you need that. I mean, look, I'm not taking supplements and leaning down. And for a lot of guys my age, it's like almost seems impossible to lean down without taking a protein shake or two or even three, and replacing some of your meals with that. And so it doesn't have to be a meal replacement shake. Even that would help to a degree. But even just replacing, instead of eating 5, 6 big meals a day or even smaller meals a day, and getting maybe an excess amount of calories, excess amount of fat and carbs, and then you could replace it with just like replace two of those meals with two protein shakes. That'll come out to 3 or 4 meals a day, and that's more than enough protein to build muscle, and hopefully you'll lean down as well with that sort of formula. But you have to figure it out. You have to try different things and whatnot. But supplements, you could do it without supplements as well. So I'm only eating about 3-4 meals a day, and they're smaller meals, and I will throw in sometimes some almonds in between, an apple, even a little bit of cheese. It could be like it doesn't necessarily have to be cottage cheese, which is very high in protein, but it might be a yogurt or two, so about 200 grams of yogurt, something just to satisfy those food cravings and still get a certain amount of protein in my diet, as mentioned, to gain weight. So I'm playing with that right now, and I've been doing that for a while, and it's taken me a while to figure it out without supplements, without involving supplements. But I think a lot of you guys know what to do. Like I said, it's just a matter of doing it. So take that step, get it done, work out what you need to work on, and keep in mind, once again, for the topic of this video, it's a hot day. There's going to be many more hot days this summer, likely a hot summer for North Americans and even individuals across the northern hemisphere, so Europe as well. Just be careful out there, and don't make it a point to just go out just so you could sweat. It takes exercise, so walking, running, cycling, swimming, all those things I mentioned. If you're in the gym, you could do the elliptical, you could do the rowing machine. I was never crazy about rowing machines. I find it just, it works the back a little bit too much, back and maybe the back of the shoulder. So it's like your rear delt is working, and you might find yourself with a little kind of almost hunched over in a way, just because your muscles are getting so big. Then again, when you work your back, it kind of pulls everything back. But if your chest is weak, it could create a problem with regards to posture. So I was just never crazy about it. I find there's an imbalance there. But even that is obviously better than nothing in terms of cardio. Do it. It does work a little bit the legs as well. In any case, okay, I'm nitpicking now. I'm looking at every little detail, and I've gone into like a million different things. Really, what I want you guys to do is like I said, make exercising a regular thing, even in terms of doing cardio. So 2-3 times a week, and not just soak in the sun and thinking being outside and sweating is helping you to lean down. Of course, you feel leaner, you look leaner in the summer. Usually it's for 2 reasons. One of 2 reasons, or both of those reasons combined, if you're doing both. And one of them is the fact that you're kind of, even if you're not exercising, you're probably going to be leaner all summer, but that's because, or pure leaner, that's because you are sweating literally like all summer. So you're basically dehydrated throughout the summer. And the other thing is people do tend to be more active in the summer. They go cycling, they play soccer with their friends, with their buddies. They go for walks with their boyfriends and girlfriends, and families. With their kids, they spend more time with their kids outdoors. So of course, you tend to do more exercise. But once again, the point of this video is to differentiate a little bit the 2 things of just sweating versus actually burning fat. So in any case, I hope this video helps. There's going to be a lot more content coming out soon, and as always, visit my site veb.org. I will be adding content to the site more regularly. I started blogging, so if you check out the blog, There's some recent blog posts, and I've gotten some great feedback, even from a professional bodybuilder or two recently, because one of my most recent articles was the evolution of bodybuilding, and they seem to like it very much. So in any case, I hope you guys enjoy this content. I'm looking to come out with a lot more. I'm looking to build up my physique, and I will be coming out with some exercise videos. So you'll have my little studio I have here at home with some nice new weights that I got, and I'll be putting out some content that I'm excited to put out, because I really haven't put out a training video in ages. So, and I never really, like, to be honest, got into it as much as I would have liked to, nor have I gotten so much into creating, just verbal sort of videos where I come out and talk about different topics of fitness, muscle building particularly. I hope you will enjoy this content. Please share it with your family, with your friends, anyone that could benefit from this. I'm trying to make these videos family friendly, so there's no swearing, and that it tailors to a wide range of people. But just keep in mind, the focus is muscle building, and a lot of what I talk about that's not relating to muscle building is indirectly related to muscle building, because I'm a guy that's kind of obsessed with this. I'm natural, so I do want you guys to know that you could do it naturally and not need steroids, growth hormones, any sort of performance enhancing drugs, and you could get incredible results. And I'm trying to get to that point, even at 45, where I'm comparable to someone that's competing at a state level, or maybe even national level in a national level organization. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if I start competing or not. I might do it, I might not. I am getting bigger. I'm not one to show off my body, my physique, but obviously I would think you guys know I've been in this for a long time, and that I have maybe some potential in it. There are some photos you might have seen online of me. Either way, this channel really was always for you guys, and that's why I didn't like showing my physique. I didn't want to make it for it wasn't about me, it was about you guys. Even though I mentioned sometimes I wanted to be the biggest natural bodybuilder of all time, and that still stands. It's become less and less, and it was already not very strong with my demeanor. I think in my videos I would mention it only to let you know that I was trying to reach the peak of something, just so that I could be an example and so that I can help people. And that really is the priority. If I wanted to make money, I could have made money in a million different ways, using my physique and collaborating with others. But the thing is, I always found that their incentives for doing it were so different than mine. Other influencers, let's say, intentions were not malicious in any way, but in the end, it's really about them. It's something to feed them, not necessarily their ego, but it was basically for money. So they were doing all these things for money, and I was not one to follow that. So. And I am no longer as well. So I mean, I'm still following that sort of principle of just doing it for you guys. So in any case, I'm rambling now. I hope you guys have a great evening, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Ciao.